Once upon a time, there was a little princess called Snowdrop who had a cruel stepmother. The mother had a magic mirror which could speak to her. And when she looked into it and asked, "Mirror, mirror upon the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" the mirror replied, "You are my queen. The fairest of them all is you." This would content the queen because she knew the mirror could speak nothing but the truth. But as Snowdrop grew up, she became still more lovely than her stepmother, and the mirror did not fail to tell this to the queen.
"You, queen, are fair and beauteous to see, but Snowdrop is far fairer than thee."
The queen was shocked and jealous, and from that moment envy and pride grew in her heart. So she ordered one of her huntsmen to take Snowdrop away and kill her. But the huntsman was too tender-hearted to do this and left the maiden in the wood and asked her not to return back to the palace or the kingdom. Snowdrop wandered about until she came to a little cottage deep in the forest. Inside, everything was so tiny. There were 7 plates, forks, knives, and some food and drink kept on the table. Snowdrop took some portion from each of the 7 plates, and when she had a full stomach, went off to sleep in one of the 7 beds inside the cottage. In the evening, the masters of the cottage came back with their axes and spades. Cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs, and when they lit their candles in the cottage, they found Snowdrop sleeping in one of the beds. When they looked at her face, they were mesmerized by her beauty and decided to let her sleep through the night. Next morning, when the sun came up, Snowdrop woke up from her deep slumber. As soon as she realized the 7 dwarfs were staring at her, she was frightened. But the dwarfs were very friendly, and soon Snowdrop told them her story about her wicked stepmother and asked if she could stay in the cottage with the dwarfs. The dwarfs said, "If you will take care of our house, cook for us, make the beds for us, and keep everything neat and clean, then you may stay with us in the cottage." Snowdrop used to make 7 little beds and prepare meals for 7 little men, and they were all quite happy. One day, the queen, assuming that Snowdrop was dead, stood in front of the mirror and asked, "Mirror, mirror upon the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" Mirror responded,
"O mighty queen, though fair you be, Snowdrop is far fairer to see. Over the hills and in the forest far away, she dwells with 7 dwarfs today." Queen decided that Snowdrop must die. So she dyed her face and dressed up like an old peddler, and in this disguise she went to the home of the 7 dwarfs and called out, "Laces for sale." Snowdrop peeped out of the window and said, "Good day, mother. What have you to sell?" "Good laces, fine laces, laces of every color."
and she held out one that was made of gay silk. Snowdrop opened the door and bought the pretty lace. "Child," said the old woman, "you are a sight. Let me lace you properly for once." Snowdrop placed herself before the old woman, who laced her so quickly and so tightly that she took away Snowdrop's breath, and she fell down as though dead. Not long after, the 7 dwarfs came home, and they found that she was laced too tight, and they cut the lace, whereupon Snowdrop began to breathe and soon came back to life again. When the queen got home, she asked the mirror again, "Mirror, mirror upon the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" Mirror responded, "O mighty queen, though fair you be, Snowdrop is far fairer to see. Over the hills and in the forest far away, she dwells with 7 dwarfs today." Queen at once planned to make an end of Snowdrop for good. So she made a poisoned comb and disguised herself to look like a different old woman. She journeyed to the dwarfs' home and induced Snowdrop to let her comb her hair. The minute she put the poisoned comb in her hair, Snowdrop fell down as though dead. When the 7 dwarfs came home, they found their poor Snowdrop on the floor, and suspecting the bad queen, they began to look for the cause, soon finding the comb. No sooner had they removed it than Snowdrop came to life again. Upon the queen's return home, she asked the mirror again, "Mirror, mirror upon the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" Mirror responded, "O mighty queen, though fair you be, Snowdrop is far fairer to see. Over the hills and in the forest far away, she dwells with 7 dwarfs today." So the wicked queen disguised herself a 3rd time and came to the dwarfs' little house and gave Snowdrop a poisoned apple. As soon as the little princess took a bite, it stuck in her throat and choked her. The good little dwarfs were very grieved to see this again. They made a fine glass coffin and put the Snowdrop into it and were carrying her away to bury her when they met a prince who fell in love with the little dead maiden and begged the dwarfs to give her to him. The dwarfs were so sorry for him that they consented, and while the prince's servants were about to carry the coffin away, they stumbled and fell over the root of a tree. Snowdrop received such a violent jerk that the poisonous apple was jerked right out of her throat, and she sat up alive and well again. Snowdrop married the prince, and she, her husband, and the good little dwarfs lived happily ever after. And the wicked stepmother, next time she asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror upon the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" Mirror replied, "You, lady, are loveliest here I see, but far lovelier is Snowdrop, our new queen." Then and there the wicked mother died of envy and anger.